Hi, I'm Alexis Leva, and today I will be doing a video summary analysis on pages 100 to 150 on The Undocumented Americans by Carla Villavicencio. So, while I was reading, I feel like my perspective definitely shifted on this book. While prior to reading these pages, I definitely thought it was more of like Carla and her connection to being an immigrant rather than being an immigrant and your connection to family and your connection to needing a sense of community to be able to continue. And especially reading the stories about Francisco and Lionel and how they were in sanctuaries and how they were definitely grounded in their families and how family became a really big part in Carla and her partner's life, kind of almost adopting Francisco's children, Francisco's daughters and the son, and how they became a really big part in his kids' lives. And it gave me a really big sense of perspective about how big family is to me and my family, and how I am a second generation immigrant. My parents are first generation, and my grandparents are immigrants from Mexico, from Michoacan, Mexico, on both sides, my dad and my mom's, and how it was ingrained in us that family is huge. Every week we would gather at my parents' restaurant and we would all eat in the morning and we'd all go to the church, or we'd all meet at church, or we'd all meet at the cemetery on certain family members who have passed birthdays. It's very big. Family is very big, and I cannot imagine if one of my grandparents or one of my parents was deported and I didn't have one. I was lucky enough to be raised with both and to be born here and having my parents born here as well. It was also a really big thing to read about the issues in Flint, Michigan, and how I guess it just might have been my ignorance. I never really thought about how Flint, Michigan, or even 9/11 had a really big impact on immigrants, specifically towards Latinos. I never genuinely thought that, because when I looked at Flint, Michigan, it was always white people and it being almost a white problem, and how 9/11 affected Americans and Americans being white people, which is my ignorant bias, but I definitely did believe that. Through reading this, I learned that so many immigrants were heroes and they were people who saved so many lives, but they were gifted back with so many issues regarding health, and they weren't even provided the proper care. And it's a sad reality, especially reading about Flint and reading that one woman's story, I do forget her name, about how her son was the person who told her that she had cancer, which I definitely thought was heartbreaking, because I remember when my grandma was diagnosed with cancer, my mom was the one who took her to the hospital and was the one who took her to her appointment, and my mom was the one who told my grandma she had cancer. So that was really hard to read, especially just because it was so dear to my heart. But it did give me a really large perspective about how throughout these pages, these only 50 pages, it resonated with me so much, and how Carla made it so personable to her life, and how it was so personable to mine, that it was just based about immigrants and their connection to their family, and how it's really important. And I hope this was a good video summary, and thank you for watching. You guys have a great day.